when you think about your past, everything you've done up to this moment is a result of your past. But one thing I always wished that I would have done is gone to get a higher education. I probably wouldn't have met you though. I'd
Yeah,
probably
you probably
be
would have
off
ended up with some
floozy.
bachelor degree, broad.
Broad. Yeah, no.
That's a good point.
And that's the thing is like, what does that say about you? Like, did you, not like, I'm not saying I'm unintelligent. Like I am intelligent. I am smart. I am. I believe it. Trust me. Look at my eyes. I'm not saying, but like I felt like getting a higher education. If I was able to still be with you and meet you and have a bachelor degree, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would be possible.
No, I agree. I agree completely. You like, what can you actually change that's going to have an impact on your life that doesn't also change so many other things in your life? It's that butterfly effect and the sliding doors thing.
Do you think I could, I would, or get physically fit
Sooner.
Like build healthy habits of like eating, reading, and feeding. Oh, eating, reading, and feeding. Not the same thing. That's all the same thing. But
what?
I would love to be a voracious reader.
Ooh.
Big words.
Look at your vocabulary.
I may have not gotten a higher education, but by amoeba effect, I always say my wife went to college.
Do you mean osmosis? Do you know what an amoeba is?
Amoeba effect.
You were going in a good direction with voracious, and then it just kind of took a turn.
Let me just let that one land right there.
It's true, though. Like, I agree with you. I think that there's, like, you just never know what could have changed. And I agree. I think that when you're younger, you have no kids and you're unmarried, it's such a great time to get a college education. Like, I think that's why it's placed at that time in people's lives. But that's also when you're making those decisions of, like, where do I want to live? What city do I want to get married? Who do I want to marry? And the people around you are who you're looking at. And so if you had, gone for your education, you wouldn't have been working where you were working in the place where we fell in love. We also, it's funny that Jarrell is on here. Jarrell was my first boss. So I wouldn't even met Jarrell. And we wouldn't even be podcasting. Well, maybe you still would have worked there and then got an education later.
I could still get an education.
You can.
I can. It's not too late, right?
Please do. Okay, but I like your answer of getting fit. That's a good one I hadn't thought of. I think that would also be my answer if I had, like, earlier in my life.
You did everything right. What did you do wrong? You got a bachelor degree.
You
got married.
Probably ate emotionally as a young child and was overweight my entire life and then never could break out of it. I think that if I could go back, I think that's a great answer because I think it's something that has a positive effect on you without necessarily changing the whole trajectory of your life, because I wouldn't want to be married to anybody else or have any different kids than I have or live in a different town than what we live right now currently. Obviously you never know what could have been, but I want you guys, and maybe we would have lived somewhere else, whatever, but I don't want to lose you guys.
Well, I think this is what comes up is that, like, people who are married for a long time think about that what if. What if I started doing that? What if, and they go down that route, which is it's a dangerous rabbit hole.
Slippery slope.
Because it is exactly what it says. What if? And it's you don't know. It's not, what's right in front of you, tangible, and you have in control what, like, the things that you have, and you need to water those things and love those things and take care of those things and change your outcome. A lot of times when you lean onto these what ifs, they're just lame. They're lame. I don't have the words to say, but it's false. It's a lie. It's not something tangible. It's something it's a disease that can infect your marriage, that can infect your love, and in the way that it hinders the depth that you could have. Because if you're always thinking in the future, not the present, or what ifs, not the present, you're not going to be growing in relationship and love and depth with one another. And you're not going to be the best father or husband, and that will continue to drive a wedge. And I think that's the dangerous part. Like, get out of that stinking thinking, as you would say, and start working on your marriage. Because that what if, like, you're really just desiring something more, and you have everything kind of like when you start pouring into your wife and loving your kids and working hard, whatever it may be, getting healthy, like a lot of those what ifs become reality and actually produce fruit and actually become satisfied versus like you become a 50-year-old divorced dad and like a beer gut belly listen to Creed and you're like,
what did Creed do? How did Creed get dragged into this?
home and now.
You guys just got a little taste of Pastor Jeremiah. There's the passion stepping in, and he's getting on a preaching.
It gets me a little preachy. So
you're a little preachy.
We need maybe a preachy button, like preach it.
Ooh, no. I like a preachy button, like preachy.
Preachy. Calm down.
It was preachy.
Say,
no, it's good. It's all good things that you're saying.
Yeah. And I'm not like, again, it's not like it's just, I want to encourage people to like step away, like step out of yourself, take a deep breath, and just go back to those big feelings. Why am I feeling this way? And include this person here. When you include your spouse in your life and communicate your heart and don't be scared, if they know your heart, that's all they want. And they want to be included.
Yes.
And the best of me is when I include my wife.
It's true. We're better together. Let's land that plane. It's great. Woo. That preachy plane needs to come in for landing.
Kim.
It was great. And I don't mean preachy in a bad way. It was like, it reminded me of when you're on stage preaching. I want to answer the question as well.
I thought you did.
I started to agree with you. Then
Did I hijack your answer?
So I was agreeing that like I hadn't thought about that, but I do like that answer of like I wish that when I was younger that I had developed healthier habits and just better self-discipline that would have carried me through, college and into my 20s and into marriage. Like, of course I wish I had that. That would be like, if I could go back and change, I think that's what I would change. But my own answer that I thought of before you said that is probably, after all the chatting we just did, it's gone. So
I thought, honey, we wouldn't change a darn thing.
And I think ultimately that's probably why I can't remember my answer. Because like, if I changed anything, I feel like it would change the outcome of where we are at this moment. And ultimately, we are where we're meant to be. Like, we are where God wants us.
If you can hear a smile, this is what it sounds like. Because I'm just glowing. And don't smack your lips.
Oh, I'm just smiling.
No, I like
Smiling.
Smiling.
That's smiling.
You're smiling.
I love this. I love our life.
And Jarella will not leave Creed alone. For those who are watching, Creed, he'll never be left alone. Creed and Nickelback are the jam. I don't care who you are.
Yes, you do. You care. You care. It's not, well, you guys save that for your podcast.
We'll do the
your music.
Yes.
Reaction. So I mean, that's our Q&A.
That's a Q&A. Way to join us. You're on this adventure of a ride. We're excited. We'll be here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. because we put our kids at 7:30. They go straight to bed. So we can get in here, give you some advice. Not really. We don't give you
We're
advice.
not giving any advice of any kind.
Invite you into our lives of chaos and say, hey.
We're just having, this is the thing. This is what we would be doing anyway.
Yeah.
Debriefing, chit chat, talk about life, talk about culture,
but
talk
now
about
we can
things.
talk to people online. We can invite them in.
Now we get to invite you in. And we get to remember, what I love about, like, even I know influencers who do this are like, my vlogs are for me. And like me logging on, like we do home videos. That's for us to be like, oh my gosh, look at what little babies we had back then. Or like, look at what was on our minds at that time. Like what we were discussing at that time. Look what was important to us at that time. We're going to look back on these videos and be like, what were we talking about?
Yeah. What drugs were we on?